Hello again, whiskey friends. Thank you for joining. All right, this could be a good one. Got the Boone County Toasted Cask Finish, but this time it's cask strength. So this one's coming in at 116.8 proof. Ooh. So pretty excited to crack this open, break it down with you. Let's experience this thing together. Thanks for joining, everybody. Let's kick off the show. Plastic off of there. Let's do a little poppity pop. Ooh, that was in there. All right, synthetic cork on that one. I think the ratio to synthetic corks is getting a lot higher lately. All right, which Glen to use first? Let's do the ADHD whiskey Glen. Cheers, Matt. All right, so I'm gonna pour this and just let it sit for just a little bit here as we talk about this bottle. So for those that don't know, Boone County rests a little south of the 275 border in Kentucky, south of Cincinnati, south of Covington, if you're kind of familiar with that area, but it's below 275 there. And, got their distillery right there in the middle of all the shipping yards and everything. And I am so blessed to be able to drive down there sometimes because they release good stuff all the time. Boone County is what I cut my teeth on. The Boone County 12-year, the 1833, that was my daily drinker back in 2018 before I realized how spoiled I was that I could buy that for $55. But they're coming out with some of their own stuff now. They got their own pot still, but really what they release mostly does come from Indiana, does come from MGP. Now, what they've been doing the last couple of years is taking their MGP small batch and finishing it, and then releasing those finishes as special releases. So I've got, sherry finish. They've done a first fill, second fill, third fill with those barrels. Not sure if another fourth fill could happen with those barrels, but every single one of them is delicious. They did a honey cask. They did a wine finish with a team up with it was Anna Liquor was the type of Anna Liqueur was the type of cask that it was in. And the other one that they came out with just this year was the toasted cask finish. Now this one's cask strength. What I have here is also the regular version. Now this got kind of a decently wide release, at least in northern Kentucky. And it was 90.8 proof, so they watered it down. As much as I love MGP, I have a really love-hate relationship when it comes to toasting MGP. First, I'm always worried that they're toasting it to hide the youth of it. If it's just a 4-year pick or something like that, like they're toasting it to try to hide something, and it never hides it from me. It's a turn off. And even some aged stuff I've had, when they toast it, I'm like, these notes don't go together. Like something about the MGP, specifically the bourbon. I love toasted rye, so I'm talking about the bourbon. It just doesn't work for me all the time. Now, this one I actually liked, the non-cask strength version, but I wondered if I liked it because it was watered down and maybe that was killing some of the astringency of that double oak process. So I'm going to do a little comparison of these. I'm going to do it in the wrong order, but I'm going to go back to that one. But it's just going to be interesting. Going into this, as much as I always love MGP and as much as I love the MGP when it's finished, I have no idea what I'm going to think about this one. Let's find out together. All right. So let's go into the nose here. So we're going to go into the nose and then we'll break down the palate. Thanks for joining, whiskey friends. The nose is exactly what I expected, though it does have a little bit of an extra burn on it. So it's cask strength, all right. I don't want to say it comes off as the Amberana finishing. I've had a lot of those lately. I am getting similar notes, but not like that well constructed when it comes to the cinnamon sugar. But I'm ultimately getting from that cask is really dominating, and it's coming across as just this dark cinnamon note. Dark cinnamon. Okay, so take a marshmallow, cover it in cinnamon, then roast it. So it's something like that. Because the toasted marshmallow is right there. Now, if you wanted to, sometimes I feel like some people take different angles at these. I feel like you could go the route of calling it toasted coconut as well. There's this really nice, rich honey coming from the MGP, layered behind all that. So that's really nice. And then it's got a sawdust kind of smell to it. Doesn't come across quite as oak. It's a woody smell, but it's like a sawdust smell. If I were to get any other fruits off of it, that honey that I mentioned is actually covered on top of apples. And it would be a green apple. And I think that pretty well describes it. So, man, can we construct that dessert? So we've got a bed of apples covered in honey. We then took marshmallow, roasted that while covering it in cinnamon, plopped it on top of that honey, and then sprinkled some coconut flakes all around it. I'm sure that would work. That sounds delicious. All right, so that's what it is on the nose. Let's see how the palate does. I'm going to be particularly interested in the finish on this one. Cheers, whiskey friends. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Finish kind of died, though. Maybe. It's spicy there. This is kind of going all over the place on me there. All right, interesting first sip. I'm going to go in for another sip before I comment on anything. Man. Okay. A little more consistent there. The finish is interesting. It really tails off, but then it lasts a long time. But the flavors kind of fall off a cliff a little bit there. I wasn't expecting that. But then I'm still tasting it now. So it's interesting how it lingers. It just lingers at a low volume. I love what it's doing at the front of the palate. I love the mouthfeel. It has this subtle sweetness. Does come across with that marshmallow note. And then the honey. It's like all honey and marshmallow up front. So that's a good first impression. It really escalated at mid-palate, and as I said, then the volume turns down by the finish. So mid-palate is where this thing peaks in terms of the flavor that it gives. Yeah. Tell you what, it pretty much matches the nose. I'm going to call all the same flavors out. The honey comes through every step of the way. And man, I love that. I love that MGP honey. That's one of the things that makes me love MGP so much in the first place. The up front, it was marshmallow. That cinnamon is entering the picture more. That cinnamon escalates by mid-palate. Even that toasted marshmallow kind of escalates by mid-palate. It's kind of all those notes escalate, and even that little bit of apple there. I'm going to go into the finish. Yeah, it hits this peak where the sweetness and the spice and everything just amplifies, and then it teeters off, and it just leaves you with the roasted marshmallow or the coconut. Honestly, I think it's even more coconut on the finish. Definitely takes even a tropical turn in general. You know, I don't even know if I want to describe the fruits as apple on the finish. Might even lean towards mango rather than that. It's kind of a weird twist, but it's something different there. I feel like I need to expand my next time I go out to a vacation, I need to try all the other fruits, the star fruits and all those things, you know, get some more dictionary to this thing, get some more flavor profiles in. It's still hanging though. I'm still getting the sweetness and the cinnamon. So I want to say the finish falls down, but it then lingers. So it's very good. I like this. I like it quite a bit. This was $65. Once again, it was 116 point something proof, 0.8 proof, I think it was. Great deal for $65. Cask strength toasted MGP. Heck yeah. Thank you, Sydney, for helping me with this, getting this bottle. I'm going to do a quick comparison to the 90%, but gosh, the color difference on these things is just immense. I don't know if you can pick that up because of the reflection on the screen, but man, yeah, you can see that. Now, I like this one quite a bit, but that one doesn't come off as cask strength. So what is this 90% are going to do to me? Oh, and for this one, hey, we got a Shayla Glen. Cheers, Shayla. Just going to do a little nip here. Oh, geez. That's totally different. It's crazy what water can do. Man, this cork. There we go. Gosh. So all the cinnamon and the spices, that's what gets washed away here. And it's just left with the toasted coconut and vanilla. Little mintiness. Oh yeah, I can't even really get anything from it. It's not fair going the direction that I went into, but just interesting to kind of see what survives that process. But it's the coconut note. A lot of people didn't care for this one as much as I did too. Kind of gave this one out in samples, bought it for a few people, and I think I was the highest on it when it came to the 90%er. But I thought it was just a lovely start of the day kind of a pour. Definitely neutralized by the cask strength. Oh, the honey's still shining too, actually. It's honey and coconut. It's pretty good. No, the cask strength's where it's at, though. Man, it's the spiciness. And it's the spiciness. I love the spiciness on it. The balance between the sweet and the spicy. $65. That's a recommend for me. If you're in the area or if you see these go around Kentucky, I know the halo on this one's not going to be too big. In general, Boone County's not going to be too big. But they're doing good things. They're doing good things with the MGP. And these releases are coming out more and more often. You know, if I'm lucky, there's a rumor a maple syrup finish is coming out. I got to get that one. So, yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. It's a good recommend. It's a good toasted cask. It doesn't, once again, I started this out with saying I've had a love-hate relationship with the MGP toasted finishes, particularly when it's too young. No, this one's nice. I've even had some older ones that didn't present themselves as much as this does. So I love all the flavors it's given. Good expression. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to go enjoy what I got left here, and I'll catch you later, whiskey friends. Thank you for joining me. Bye.